Hi, Galaxy. Remember you told me Jen yesterday, right? Kinda tired. Had to get up early and go to doctors. Other than that, pretty good. Ooh. Today's gonna be a lot more astrology. Still some tarot and everything, but we're gonna be going over astrology stuff. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Assess the nurse. Yeah. Yeah, of course. If you have questions, like always, ask and I'll be happy to answer. Because I'm an astrologer too, so I like helping people learn. And then, of course, everyone can vote on if they want a pick a card or if they want a collective together tonight. I'm fine with either one for you guys. Plus individual readings after we can ask tarot, not tarot, astrology the whole time if stuff comes up. So it's not really a set period for only astrology. Who's this other viewer who's not saying anything? Unless you are saying something and it's not showing up for me. Have you ever looked at your birth chart? Ooh. Let's drop in junk over here. Oh, interesting. If you don't got interceptions, then it means you have your sun in your first house or your 12th. And that would put your moon in your 4th. Which is really interesting for a moon placement, because the 4th is really related to family roots, ancestors, and your soul. So having your moon in your 4th actually really heightens intuition, since it's a moon is intuition, so it's like adding on to it. Having all that Pisces really adds to it too, especially if you're ascendant. And that would make Virgo your 7th house, which means your relationships are quite tedious. Either you're the one that's always trying to nurture and organize other people's lives, or they're trying to control and do that with you. I mean, believe it or not, the growing up in households and then opening up later has actually been a very common theme for a lot of people nowadays. It doesn't matter when you start. Plus everyone grows at different rates too, so you could shoot ahead in a couple months past someone who's been doing it for 10 years. I can start with an individual while we're waiting. Everyone, because I don't want to start doing the astrology till everyone's here, so we can answer questions. So I can do like an individual. Dude, I cannot talk. This Mercury shadow is already hitting me. But I can do an individual for you, Jim, while we're waiting on the others. Well, as soon as you said that, you had, those two pop out. Ooh! Hey, Niglo. Yeah, this is kind of talking about, what you were telling me. But your intuition is starting to open up, though, which is a good thing. It's just having the faith in yourself. Because having this high priestess here, I mean, she's directly related to the moon, like I was telling you, so you do have, innately, where you have that placement in your chart. It's there waiting to be tapped into. It's just like you were saying, you have, not so great emotions attached to it. And it even has your, sign on here with the Pisces. And this retrograde's probably bringing up a lot of that for you. With this faith right here, it's like even trying to break out of traditions and everything. Like, it just kind of creates this it's like you're trying to detach from how you feel and how it makes you feel about yourself, because it's difficult to deal with. But the thing is, with all of these past memories here, especially with Scorpio, them being like a little more dark and secretive, it's like you're learning about them, and it's actually helping you bring a lot of balance to yourself, because making the choice right now, like especially during this Mars retrograde, because that's what we have going on with Mars right now. It's in Aries in retrograde. It's like making the choice right now, because you're so blocked off, is actually going to help open you up with this Ace of Cups here, because this is like a lot. This is pretty much everything dealing with water that you can think of, like with emotions, with new opportunities, intuition, cleansing, healing, just like the whole shebang with this. So it's almost like at this time, choosing yourself is actually going to really help you work through a lot of this. Even though it's really hard trying to pull yourself out of these memories, like it's almost like an internal battle almost. Trying to see if there's also the end of October, early November, you might either be able to work a little deeper on healing some of these memories, or they're going to crop back up to the surface, probably through contact or something like that. And this Mars retrograde doesn't end until like November 13th, I think, so that would be like in the timeline too. But it's pretty much like you're being urged right now to really heal that part, so you can actually start incorporating who you are into everything, instead of feeling really like repressed by the whole situation. Because this right here is really like speaking of like a mental block you have, and just like being able to release the mental block, because that's what's keeping you from having this faith in yourself and moving forward. Because you have a lot of potential here with this High Priestess. And especially getting the Ace of Cups with the High Priestess as well. Yeah. You'll be able to do this. It's going to take time, so don't rush yourself, because having this earth quality here, you have to be really patient and kind to yourself while you're going through this. And just allow yourself time. Like, don't try to make yourself have something happen overnight, because that'll cause more of this feeling of like the mental and the emotional getting kind of warped together, and it'll keep bringing you back into trying to almost compensate in ways for these blockages here. But if you work at it slowly, you'll move out of the blockage energy into the more stable, loving energy. And you'll be generous with yourself as well as others, as opposed to it being like having an imbalance, because that happens a lot too. But you have these three like really good ones here. It's like stability and emotions as well as intuition. So it's just take time and heal them, and don't feel like you need to be rushed with it. But you'll probably start having a lot of breakthroughs in November, because a lot of planets are going to be starting to go direct in October, so that's going to bring a big boon of energy. And then with the other ones going direct in November, it's almost like everything you're working really hard on starts kind of just flowing a lot easier, instead of feeling like you're fighting a current. So, for any of you that just joined, I'm doing some personal messages that come out, or if you have a specific question, until we start getting everyone in here, and then we can start going over all the astrology that's going to be going on, which is awesome. We have Saturn finally going direct next week, which is going to be a huge restriction lifted off of a lot of us. Hey, Ruby. This is for you, No Glow. Wow. You got a lot of mixed energies going on here. For one, this inner instability here definitely can make you feel like you can't be as generous as you would like to be, almost like you're trying to pull yourself back a lot. And it's because you're looking at almost like you had a lot more options, but they're starting to fade away and kind of dwindle into a couple. And it's because some things that you didn't previously know are starting to come out now, especially dealing with other people. I think as you get closer to this full moon, I mean, right now the moon is currently, it won't be in Pisces until probably Monday, because it's going to be in Pisces when Saturn goes direct on the 29th. But it's almost like your intuition's trying to step in and kind of like give you a little bit of guidance and push you, but it's kind of hard for it to come in right now, because it's almost like you're having trouble letting go of the fact that you're going to have to do stuff on your own. And it kind of started during this retrograde, and it's going to keep going throughout the retrograde. But all these planets that we have in Capricorn, and probably Saturn going direct, is really going to help give you a boost and help bring you out of this energy, whether it's a person putting you in this predicament or just a state that you're having to go through right now. Because this is like a really controlling energy, and it's very abrupt, and a lot of times they don't pay attention to how they affect others, especially like with their words or their actions. But it's almost like the moon energy here is really helping bring in a bunch of new types of communication. It could even be you being more open to guidance as well, especially like being connected. But it could also be like a bunch of new ideas, being more expressive, because like you're coming out of this energy and it's like you're stepping more into this energy, because this is like a victory like type energy, like you did it kind of thing. It's like moving out of this and into this, as well as losing the mentality that there isn't enough. Like you start kind of walking into that. And let me see what's covered. Oh, that one's also Capricorn. Yeah. So probably a lot of these planets starting to go direct. I mean, you might have even felt it a little bit when Jupiter went direct recently. But it's like as more of these big planets start going direct, you're really going to feel like your energy shift from this insecure kind of energy into like this really stable energy, where it's like you're very grounded and you're not really being in this mess of feeling like you're having to do all this hard work alone while whatever this is sitting on your back and things are kind of dwindling away. It's going to be like, just keep working hard. You're going to get recognition for what you're doing, and slowly your mindset will change as these new ideas are starting to flow in. But it wouldn't surprise me, since you got Capricorn twice here, the time, like Capricorn season is like the end of December, early January, so it might take a while for this, but by then all the planets are going to be direct, which would mean everything's been slowly like a progressive it's like there is movement, but it's not like crazy fast movement. Like say this guy would be like just like springing there. Like this is like a really steady moving energy, which could be why it takes a few months for it to build up, but like good things just kind of slowly keep coming in. Like instead of like all at once kind of rush. Like this is going to be a slow, steady energy coming in, but you're going to have to do some work by yourself probably some inner work, and really learn to release the mindset. And once you do that, it's like you step into this instead of feeling at a loss here. But I really see a lot of expression starting to come out, especially probably after this full moon that's coming up on the 1st. But right now things are pretty confusing. But just give yourself time. Because if you push too much right now, you're just going to drain yourself. It'll be a great time for you to be creative. It'll help you get some of this antsy energy out and kind of ground yourself. But yeah, that's what's coming up in here. So things will slowly get better. Just keep pushing forward. Yeah, it's going to be a major transition for everybody right now. Okay. Well, whoever is planning on starting a relationship, it looks nice. I don't know but it looks kind of nice. There's some Aries energy here, as well as Cancer and Taurus and Libra energy. So if any of that fits for you, that just kind of jumped out for you right then. So whoever's having a good time with that. Don't know who that was meant for, but that just kind of jumped out. Okay, so since I already started talking about some astrology stuff, let me go ahead and maybe go in a little deeper into some things that are going to be showing up. Starting next week, there is actually quite a bit happening. For one, on the 29th, finally, after like back and forth all year, Saturn is going to go direct. Now, Saturn, the planet of karma, not relationships, that's the 7th house. That's where my Saturn is in my chart. But the planet of karma, lessons, hard work paying off, like what you put in, you get back. A lot of restriction rules, things like that. It's been under this repressive energy, and it itself is a repressive energy. So it's almost like one of the repressive energies are going to be finally lifted on the 29th. So we're going to feel like almost like a collective sigh of relief a little bit. And it's also still with Pluto and Jupiter, because Jupiter has been direct for a little bit, so it's been moving up on everybody. And I think it's like right in the 8-degree orb where they're conjunct still. So both of those will be direct and conjunct, and will feel a lot better. I just want Jupiter to move out of my 6th house so that way I can lose weight. It'd be very nice. But with the 1st of October, we're going to have a full moon in Aries. So I'm actually going to go live on the full moon, at the time of the full moon, because it just so happens that when I go live on Thursdays, it's the time of the full moon. But we're going to have that happening right after Saturn goes direct, and then literally that Sunday we're going to have Pluto go direct too. So all those planets that are conjunct with each other by the end of next week are all going to be direct, and it's going to feel a lot better. So that's one thing to really be looking forward to. Then of course right now we still have a couple other retrogrades happening. We have Mars retrograde, which a lot of us are dealing with, either feeling tired, feeling really restless, irritable, getting random noise, but it brings about a lot of anxiety too, especially if we're not putting this energy into some kind of outlet. It can also like bring anger really easily, as well as, since it's dancing around with Chiron, which is the wounded healer right now, it's probably bringing up a lot of painful memories and making us very agitated because we got to deal with them again. But so if you have that coming up, or people returning in your life that are driving you crazy right now and won't leave you alone, that's another reason. And I said before, Mars isn't going direct till November, so we're going to be kind of dealing with that like all of October. And not the week right after the new moon, but the following week we have Mercury going retrograde, which I know a lot of us probably know that as the planet people talk about the most when it goes retrograde, because it starts affecting communication and how we talk to each other and all this great stuff that we don't like being affected, like our technology. And so technically we're kind of in the shadow period of that right now, so you might already be experiencing that, where things are just not going right. Because the shadow period is typically about 7 to 14 days before it happens. So obviously it's going to affect everyone different depending on what your chart looks like. So if you know what your chart looks like, you can, ask me questions. I'll kind of tell you how it's probably going to be affecting you differently. But if you're not sure, if you know your birth time, place, and the date, and you go to astro.com, they'll pop up a free one for you if you just put that in, and you can actually see where everything is. But it's kind of an overall energy with those planets. But I know I've had clients come in going, what is wrong with me? I feel like I'm going crazy right now. And it's like, you're feeling all that Mars retrograde energy. So would you guys rather have a collective for the energy, or would you rather have a pick a card for the energy? As a pick a card, you can choose different piles, and the collective would be more for everybody. How they're feeling with Saturn going direct. Okay, we got pick a card. You guys want pick a card, huh? What, pick a card? So since we're going to do pick a card, let me see what crystals I'm pulled to. So you guys can have that to pick from for your piles. Let's see. So we're going to have pile 1. This is a smoky amethyst. And let's see, oh, that was instant. We got pile 2. This is carnelian. And let's see. Now these two are the same, but they look different. These are both garden quartz. As you can see, they kind of have a different, this one's a lot thicker with the actual garden part of the quartz, and then this one actually has more of a clear, more of the quartz than the garden. But they're both the same, so they'll be part of the pile together. They're just together. And let's see. And then we'll do moss agate. So that'll be our choices. Now, do you guys want seeming triangle meditation to go with it? Or do you guys already have your crystals in your mind that you want? And of course I'll go over their meanings at the end of each reading, so that way you guys can have each one. I know Ruby always likes the seeming triangle. She's like, yeah, of course we're going to do the seeming triangle. A little thing's bunching up. Don't bunch up her butt. Okay, so now that we have our everything done, I'm going to pull out My decks. If you guys want to know what a deck is, just ask me and I'll hold it up for you guys. And I'll do some more affirmations for this one too, because it seems like the dreaming stuff has been really being prominent lately, so go ahead and start with our amethyst. So, first thing I'm going to do is for the amethyst pile, I'm going to pull some of my astrology cards to see where you guys are going to be most affected when Saturn goes direct. In my amethyst pile. Okay, so we got Virgo, Pisces. Those are sister signs, is what they're called, which means they're opposing signs. Since the moon is going to, yeah, 8th house. I knocked over the little, there we go. So, for the amethyst pile, what we have going on here is basically where you are lacking routine, or you're really needing to get together on some health issues, or maybe even just learning how to be more conscious of your own mind and what you're doing with it, like if you're overthinking too much. With Saturn going direct, it's going to give you a different kind of energy. It's going to help you move more into a loving energy and be more forgiving instead of being really over analytical with everything. And it's going to help you flow a little more. Though it's probably going to be more confusing because you're going to be really affected in 8th house type matters, which is more, especially with it being in Capricorn, you can be dealing with other people's money, other people's properties. You could be dealing with going through different transformations, whether it's in relationships, spirituality, but it also deals with a lot of endings as well. So it's pretty much like the Saturn's going to be the final say once it goes direct on what you're choosing, and that's the work you're going to be putting in. Like you're making a decision and you're putting in the work to go that direction, especially if it's dealing with really intense emotions you've been really overanalyzing for a very long time. It's like you're going to be able to step into the energy where you're finally releasing it instead of replaying it over and over and over again in your mind. And I'm going to pull some of these because I was drawn to these ones, which is interesting since we got Pisces hanging out up here. But I wanted to pull some Mermaid Oracle. Since this is where you guys are getting affected the most, I want to see, excuse you, light. Excuse me while my light decides it wants to eat my battery in 2 seconds. got it back. But, well, you don't have to pick only one. If you're drawn to more than one, and more than likely there's a message in there. So don't ever feel like you're just, like, you can only have, like, this one that you're drawn to kind of thing. Oop. So what I was trying to say about, this pile, this deck that I'm drawing from right now, is I wanted to see the blessings or challenges that are going to be showing up with this Saturn going direct on the 29th. And immediately we got the present, which is revelation of your own value, being present now, possible gifts. Got Song of the Siren. This seems like a lot of acknowledging yourself and actually being honest with yourself. Well, interesting. The return of Aphrodite. Goddess energy and guidance. Treating yourself as you're sacred. And then Lumeria returns. Spirituality, community, being more conscious of what you're doing. So it's almost like moving out of, like I was saying before with the Saturn, you're going to be moving out of this restrictive, heavy earth-like energy, like the over-analytical Virgo type energy and the nitpickiness. And it's going to help you, with the restriction being lifted, help you start looking at yourself as you are now and being a lot less hard on yourself, because you start picking up on your own value, which with 8th house showing up, it could be that you place a lot of your value in what other people do or other people have, as opposed to what you actually have yourself. And then also with Saturn, if a lot of the amethyst pile are actually having trouble with knowing what they really want to do, like maybe they're struggling like either with their purpose or their career or where they want to go in a romantic situation, it's almost like those answers are going to become clear, and it's really going to free up your mind a lot. And it's almost like you're going to have a pull to what you're supposed to be doing, and like this nice push that sends you in the right direction, especially with this guidance coming up here. And it's also the birthing of this energy as well, and creating the foundation in this energy, because she's also holding this key, which to me is like unlocking a lot of aspects of yourself that's actually allowing you to see your value and actually treasure yourself. And when you start thinking this way, you create a mindset that brings in, like, this is really making me think of the Empress card. It's like you bring in abundance just by switching your mindset. But it also has a very spiritual essence to it as well, like the intuition and like this almost like a sage-like energy, where it's like you're really turning lessons into wisdom here. And you're also finding like your soul people, like the people that understand you, and you don't have to sit there and like explain yourself for like hours on end. It's like they just like click and get you. So that direct push and building this foundation for yourself and freeing up this part of your mind is actually going to pull people in that really help ground you, as well as let you kind of flourish as well. So let's see. With Saturn going direct for my amethyst, what should the amethyst pile be working on right now? I love how this is what pops out together. But you guys have this recurring theme of love, and a lot of it's loving yourself, but also new people coming in too. Yeah, because it's kind of warning against staying stuck where you are, especially like with this Jupiter energy. It's like it's going to come and kick your ass if you don't start moving. Because Jupiter can be a lesson planet too. If you're sitting there, it's going to expand the shit. And this is another community card, like this, and this is Capricorn energy. So you're definitely bringing in your people by being your honest self. Yeah, it's like you're leaving behind this lack of interest you have in the people that are just trying to play mind games and stuff. It's like your intuition's going to be kicking in, and it's going to allow you to see things for what they are, and you're just kind of bored of this kind of energy, and you're learning to detach yourself from this kind of energy instead of letting it affect you so much emotionally. But you really need to actually step into doing the work so that these people can come in. Like, you need to create the space for it. Either that or they're already there, but you're not allowing them access because you have this block, so it doesn't feel like you really have anyone in your corner. When in reality it's the opposite. It's just you've blocked yourself off from it, and you're always like in this mindset that someone's out to get me, or it's too good to be true, it's going to fall apart. But a lot of you, it's either Saturn's going to bring in a romantic relationship that's really good for you, or it's like literally healing the relationship you have with yourself. Or both. It could easily be both. Especially since we're in Libra season when it's going direct, which is like ruled by Venus in the sign of like relationships and all this other mushy stuff. So for this one, I want to see what my amethyst pile has been working on that is going to come back as, you know, their energetic karma when Saturn goes direct. Because it's the planet of karma, so let's see what energy you guys have been working on up till now that's going to come back. Wow, lunar eclipse and change. Okay. Getting called out in this pile for not working on your solar plexus. And your root chakra. Because so far, what you guys have been coming into you, yeah, it has roots on this card. And, okay, you guys just got majorly called out for what they're going to be bringing you. So, the karma you guys have created when Saturn goes direct is it's going to be bringing you this bountiful array of lessons of how to ground your ass. Because you've been really putting it off with this foundation over here, this revolution you should have been really working on during this time. It's like, since it was put off and you still haven't done it yet, what they're going to bring in is literally you rooting yourself in stability. Like, it literally has, like, this is what you're going to be doing. And with it being 4th house, there's going to be a lot coming up that deals with soul level growth, possibly connecting with ancestors, learning about your lineage that's going to connect you, dealing with past family traumas or generational issues that have been passed down and actually breaking those so you don't carry them on to other people. Just Saturn's just going to be like, hey, you need to do all this now. It's just going to give it to you, which is why I think it's teaching you the self-love. Like, the change is you work on these and it gets the self-love. So it's literally forcing change, because this is a foundation in creating this inner work here. So it's literally going through each thing, and you're probably really going to feel it on the full moon since this is coming up here. But and this Leo being the sacral chakra, and I think Leo is still currently in, Venus is still currently in Leo, so this is like really pushing you doing this work on your solar plexus, because it's like your direction, like you've been trying to look everywhere except your solar plexus, and you need to dive inwards and really work hard at it, because it's bringing in that Saturn energy where you need to do the work so you get the reward for doing the work. So there's going to be no escaping you doing this work when Saturn goes direct, because it's going to be like, you guys need to do this. You need to heal this so you can bring in all this beautiful energy. Because it's like, they have a lot that's either, some of it's already here, but you're not completely open to it because you're kind of stuck, and then other stuff is trying to come in, but they're like, hey, you haven't made the choice yet, so we're going to make it for you and start pushing you. So I'm going to pull some affirmations from my dream deck, because dreams are just going a little rampant right now. So these are either little affirmations for Saturn going direct that you can keep repeating to yourself as you're going through this process, or it might give you like little things that you can do to work through some of your dreams that are possibly coming up at this time that could be very confusing, because those are trying to teach us stuff too, and it's like, what the heck. Okay, so first one we have is surrender. I surrender the old limiting beliefs. I awaken and am reborn into limitless possibilities, which is literally what this thing has been saying the whole time. Just drop this old shit. Surrendering is hard though, and that is kind of the energy of the 8th house. You have to learn surrender, because you're kind of at the mercy of what happens there. I don't know, for some of you this could possibly be happening in your 8th house if your 8th house is Capricorn. So let's see another one. So, guidance. My dreams give me inspiration and guidance, and this is the second, I think it was this one that also mentioned guidance as well. So your intuition and your guides are really trying to come through strong right now, especially with this 8th house and Pisces energy. So the best thing to do would be to listen when they're trying to guide you, especially if they're coming through in dreams. And where are you guys going? Where are you guys going? Come back. So I had 2 that landed on the floor, so I think these are supposed to go together. So we got messages and destiny. With messages, I am receiving powerful messages from my guides right now. I trust my feelings. Destiny, my dreams show me that I am the co-creator of my life and destiny. So I think this is a message that they were sending you. But like I was saying before, like, you guys are getting a lot of guidance right now. You just need to trust it. Just like you need to learn to trust yourself, which is, I think, what's coming through for this whole pile with the amethyst. And amethyst, let me just read its properties, because it actually has a lot of the higher chakra properties. So it's a I cannot talk, but it's a natural tranquilizer, and it relieves stress and strain and soothes irritability. It balances mood swings, dispels anger, rage, fear, and anxiety. It alleviates sadness and grief and dissolves negativity. Activates spiritual awareness, opens intuition, and enhances psychic abilities. And it also is good for helping with sleep and resting, but it's also good with dream recall too, so it can help with that too. But it pretty much goes along with this whole thing. But that is the amethyst. So we're going to move on to our carnelians. And you can sit there and act like Libra season isn't mushy all you want, but it's all about this mushy Venus partner love energy. You're lying to yourself if you're not getting a little mushy right now. Though at the same time you could be fighting it something fierce with this Mars retrograde and being like, okay, so let's switch and move you over there. And we're going to move carnelian up here. Hey, it's true though, and you know it. Maybe, there we go, so you can see it. So, for my carnelian pile, let's see where you're getting affected most by the Saturn going direct. I gotta remember that. Okay. I gotta remember to put this up here for you guys. It's a habit to do it back there. Okay, so we got our 3. Wow! Instantly we have moon, just straight out the gate here. 3rd house. Yeah. So the carnelian, where you're going to be getting affected the most here is pretty much how you're communicating with people when this goes direct. It's going to, more than likely, you're not realizing how blocked off you are, and it's trying to help you pull out of that by helping you communicate more and also connect to people that can teach you more about yourself. And it's also going to heighten your intuition, because there's a good chance that whatever house, either that or you have a moon in Capricorn, but whatever house you have Capricorn in, it's making it to where the Saturn is actually repressing some of it because you're dealing with so many other things. So what can happen is, once that goes direct, it's going to lift some of that, and some of it will start coming in easier. And it'll also make it to where you have a relief on your emotions as well. Like, you won't feel as emotionally drained, like you're fighting against something so much. And it'll actually help you be able to form words, as opposed to feeling like you can't express what's going on with you. And it's going to help you with learning how to respect your spirit as being sacred, and like have more boundaries, because when this goes direct, it's like you're in this energy of not knowing your boundaries yet. So by opening this up, like this learning and like this close-knit community, whether it's online that you have a close-knit community, or if it's literally like physically you have like something around you that's like this, almost like a safety net, even someone that you consider like as close as like a brother or sister or something like that, like you consider them family, it's like it's going to be affecting those relationships the most, because they're going to be teaching you things about yourself. But you have to be open to it, because if you have this closed off energy, you're not going to be able to learn and open this up. So let's see. What this Saturn direct is bringing my carnelians. Well, she looks like she's enjoying herself. Wave of power. It's kind of what I was saying before. It's going to bring you like a boost of energy. Like you're not going to be feeling as drained. Dreams. There's the intuition coming in. It's saying vivid dreaming. So you're probably going to be lucid dreaming and being like, what the heck is going on right now? If you're not already starting that already. And we have Imrama. Oh, come back with throwing yourself across the board. Yeah, this is a lot of soul growth here. It's really learning to heal these deep-seated things and actually move forward. For some of you, it's going to be really exciting to actually do this. For others, it's going to be like, what the heck is going on right now? And we have yearning here. So this is interesting, because this is what Saturn's bringing you, and it's almost like this might be for a few people. I don't know if it's for everyone, but it looks like there's going to be some kind of relationship coming back. But it's like, it's like a weird energy, almost. It's like someone was really wanting somebody and they didn't want to break up, and they've been thinking about them. So this more than likely could also be a relationship coming back. But if you're having trouble remembering dreams, definitely try writing little bits that you can, like down, even if it's a color or anything, a word, because the more you do that, it makes your mind kind of get into the frame where you need to start remembering it, so you can remember more as you write it down. That's what dream journaling is. But it's bringing in different energies for different people here, because some people are going on more of a soul journey, and other people are bringing things back. So let's see, for my carnelians here, some blessings and obstacles probably that it's bringing in, or lessons, or however you want to look at that. Not just obstacles, just challenges. Well, it seems like Saturn itself is trying to bring in a release of a heartbreak. Something that was really painful. Definitely bringing in people you can... Whew! Hello. It's just ripping something apart for some of you. It's like you're healing this stuff because it's getting ripped away, and yeah, I can see why it's like you didn't expect it. Yeah, but it's like saying there's so much drama that comes along with this Mars retrograde started something, and this Saturn direct is going to either finish it or it's going to put it in its final stages where the rest of it starts crumbling away. Because like this is such a huge upheaval right here, especially since we have Saturn showing up multiple times, both in dealing with relationships and also dealing with your own confidence in your heart as well. It's like the mind and the heart are really at war here. But at the same time, it's like the Saturn direct's trying to bring in like this celebration of letting this crap go. It's like, yo, look, we're helping you let the crap go, but you're like, holy crap, like why is all this flying away from me right now? And you're not going to be able to really understand it when it's happening because it's going to seem so abrupt. But the best thing to do is to try to go with it instead of fighting it, because the more you fight it, the more drained you're going to be, and it's trying to bring you energy where you were drained before, because it's going to try to release some of the things that were really draining you. But this is going to be a big change for the carnelians. And looking at the color here, it's like resonating with these major ones. But it's like communicating this happy emotion thing over here by getting rid of this. Like this is helping get rid of this. It's like a huge release. But let's see. What you guys have been working on, my carnelian pile, with your hard work you've been putting in up until Saturn going direct. Like what karma have you reaped that is going to start showing itself once Saturn goes direct? Well, that's a big call out saying you've been fighting this. Well, it's no wonder you're getting a tower moment. You've been fighting the transformation they've been trying to give you while it was in retrograde. So far it seems like Saturn going direct is giving you guys this push, like you cannot get away from what you need to be doing. Yeah, it's like fighting change, fighting the transformation. It's like it's not going to put up with this anymore. Yeah, it's saying you're blocking your abundance from coming in, and it wants to pretty much unclog everything and just make it start flowing. And it wants you to start believing in yourself too. So it's really going to pull out pretty much all the stops by bringing this Tower card in here and just uprooting, because it's going to force these things that have been getting put off where they need to go. Because by releasing this and moving into the celebratory phase, what's going to happen is this forced change and transformation is going to take place with this Tower moment. And it's going to be really taking place with these really close relationships to you, because there's going to be a lot of realization about how you've really been dimming yourself with these people. And it wouldn't surprise me if this Tower moment occurs because they do something that is totally out of character, but it's really been blocking off during this retrograde, like you being able to find faith in yourself, which has been blocking off anything you've been trying to manifest for yourself. It's been completely blocking it. So it's like trying to come in and just do this huge sweep by going direct, which I can definitely see since Pluto's going to be going direct a few days after. So it's like you're not going to get away from this transformation, because Pluto's all about transformation. If it's like this retrograde period was supposed to be a lot of internal work, and if you've been fighting it, when it goes direct, it's just going to pull you with it, because it's going to start happening externally. So let's see some affirmations. Oh, that one just popped out. Oh my god. Transformation. With the help of my dreams, I am ready to make changes towards a new me. You guys really aren't getting away from this transformation. It doesn't matter how much you're fighting it. Like, it's going to come in full force with this direct. Like, that popped out. It didn't even want to wait for me to shuffle anything. So, carnelian affirmations for Saturn direct. So these wanted to come out together. So we have act and experience. Upon waking, I am ready to act on my passions and dreams. And then experience, my dreams take me to wonderful places that are filled with wonder, delight, and joy. So what they're trying to show you, especially since this dream card came out, is pretty much your answers to, like, how the heck am I supposed to deal with this being thrown on me. And it's going to try to show you how you should be in your waking life, and they're expecting you to actually take the advice and start acting on it, because you can't fight this transformation anymore. Like, they're really pushing for it. Ooh. And we have regenerate. Whilst I dream, I clear my mind of all negativity and my spirit is refreshed. Yeah, so they're pushing you, letting go of this mental thing. Like, whatever this tower is for you guys, whatever shows up that it's bringing, or you're in the midst of it because it's bringing it on, it's all because it's meant to go away so you can be born into the new you right now. Because it's like you either were given the opportunity while the retrograde was happening, or the retrograde was building up to the opportunity for it to happen. So it's going to be like this, like, grand thing with all this, like, pull behind it that really, it's almost like a catapult almost into this. It could be a very abrupt awakening for some of you. So let's see. Carnelian properties. It's a stabilizing stone, restoring vitality and motivation, and stimulates creativity. It gives courage, promotes positive life choices, dispels apathy. Didn't you? No, that was the other group that had apathy. And motivates for success. It's useful for overcoming abuse of any kind, and it helps in trusting yourself and your perceptions. And carnelian is used for opening and balancing the sacral chakra, which is your creative and sexual energy center. So Scorpio is all about that creative sexual energy. So definitely it's also a stone of abundance and fertility as well. So that kind of goes with you needing to flip around this. But that's the carnelian energy right here. So our next little babies are the garden quartz couple over here, which I'm gonna laugh if that turns into a love reading somehow since I put the two of them together. But let's go ahead and move on to the little garden quartz babies. So for my garden quartz pile, let's see where this Saturn direct is going to be affecting you the most. Okay. Something tells me you guys are going to be feeling the effects of this all the way up until Saturn moves into Aquarius. Like whatever this Saturn direct starts is going to be going on for a few months all the way up until the end of December. Yeah, that carnelian one was really pushing for some stuff. And there was a tower moment in that one, so I would definitely watch that if you were drawn to that one. Let's see. We need two more, guys. We need two more areas here. Oh. This pile's gonna love this. Okay. Looks like Saturn's just bringing all of these blessings of, hey, here's some more stuff to deal with so you can clear out some more space. Wow. Why do I feel like this pile's calling me out? So, with the garden quartz here, major area going to be affected here is literally career and what you're putting out right now. Also, the house, your house where you have Aries, where the transiting Chiron is going to be getting affected. For me, that's my 10th house. But actually, it might have barely moved past my 10th into my 9th. I might be lucky. But it still conjunct my midheaven. But Chiron here, the wounded healer, like needing to learn how to heal yourself, because like the places where you really lack in being able to heal yourself, you give really great advice for and actually help others with, and you're really drawn to helping in that capacity. But it's like our own Achilles heel. So what this Saturn direct is doing is literally bringing that to the forefront for you, and then with some of you, what it's going to be doing is forcing you to bring this healing out into the open and make a career out of it with helping others with what you have learned from your healing. And it's also going to be bringing in this energy more than likely, because with 11th house, it has a lot to do with friends, the internet connections, humanity as a whole, like kind of like humanitarian efforts, but also being able to pull yourself back and see the wider perspective of how you can do things. So this is a very, instead of it being internal, this is a lot more external that this Saturn direct is doing for the garden quartz. It's actually pushing you guys to pull what you've been doing internally and take it and put it out, like for people to actually see. So let's pull what the Saturn direct is bringing the garden quartz pile. Receptivity, which is like the main thing of Libra season, is learning how to receive. Reflections. So this pile is really going to be learning how to allow receiving as well as giving, and realizing that what they put their mind to, they can actually make happen. So all this internal reflection that's been going on during the retrograde is being made into something, as opposed to it still staying inside. It's being pushed out externally, like it's forcing with this healing thing coming out. We got air, exchange of life-bringing energies, breathing deep. So pretty much what this is showing me is almost like if you've been drowning and really doing like so much freaking healing, you're finally like coming up for that breath of air that you've been needing this whole time. Especially if it's been very daunting and just cutting you in places that, yeah, like literally the next card is water flight, like heaviness lifting, burdens being casted away, feeling weightless. It's like this freedom just taken over because there's a new foundation that was built by this coming out. There's a lot of intuition and love for self coming out as well, and it's really helping success wise. It's almost like I feel with the Saturn direct, this pile's been doing a lot of work internally, especially when it comes to love and starting over again with self-reflection, and just really pushing forward and allowing creativity to come out even if it was hard. But it's actually trying to pull in what has been kept from the garden quartz for so long. So let's see opportunities and challenges for the garden quartz. Man, I feel like this pile's calling me out. Freaking Jeebus. So, with the Ten of Swords, major challenge is yourself. And it literally is showing Sun and Gemini over here. That's why I say I feel like it's calling me out. But it's pretty much running in mental circles, and it's causing your own depression and your own anxiety and your own worry because you can't be present in the moment, when you already have the answer to your question if you just still your mind instead of allowing it to take over everything. And then with Temperance, it's like learning to see the bigger picture, but it's like being stuck. Instead of allowing the faith to take place, it's like a challenge could be like losing faith. And it's saying like really just hold on to it, because even though you're going through so much right now, it's going to get better. It's like you can't let the challenges take away the faith that you have in yourself or in your circumstances. Yeah, because there's going to be this new energy coming in, and it's going to be new spiritual energy, new energy period. Like if you're really lacking even motivation or any kind of strength or will, it's just going to bring in this new burst. And then it's really not wanting you to stay in the energy of like closing yourself off in a shell. It's like it's pretty much like it's saying up here, the main things being affected is literally your persona outside of yourself. Like you bringing what you've been learning out into the world, making a career, whether that's like counseling, or because everything's pretty much over the internet with the pandemic. So a lot of things that people are doing, like even doctors have gone like on the internet, teachings on the internet. But anything you've done healing wise, they're pretty much pushing you to transform that into something that you can share and use the internet to help you do that. Because there's a career that is waiting for you to step into with it, and it's really trying to push you there. They don't want you to wait anymore. It's like your waiting is your own obstacle, and you not believing in yourself is your own obstacle. You have to just release it and let it come in. Yeah, it's like it's time to let go and just move on instead of keeping this energy in your mind, because you might feel like you've detached from it, but in reality you're still holding on, and you need to do the healing so that it just brings it in and you can build that trust, because there's been a lot of reflection and a lot of healing done. That's why there's so much of that energy here. But it's trying to give you time to come up and like breathe a little bit, like instead of feeling like you're drowning all the time. Like even this chariot's like in water, like at the same time it's like you're just feeling stuck, and they don't want you to. So let's see what karmic energy was built up during the retrograde that's going to be coming out with Saturn going direct for the garden quartz pile. Yeah, it's like moving into this energy where like releasing the feeling that you need to keep sacrificing your own heart for what you want out of life. It's really trying to push you into the energy where it's like, you know, you've been healing and you know your self-worth, and you don't need to keep sacrificing yourself anymore. You can let up and let things come in and just receive it because you're worthy of it, instead of just putting yourself down like you're not deserving. And literally we get Capricorn coming out, master number 22 at that. It's solving a lot of problems, not just for yourself, but for either your group or humanity, however you want to look at it, which completely ties in, because Capricorn rules the 10th house. And if you're bringing your healing out for people and you're trying to spread this with other people and it turns into a career, this right here is literally like, with all this blue, is using your voice to spread this healing to other people. And that's like direct with that. Yeah, like this group isn't fighting the transformation. It's like it's been taking place. The intuition is like up, the root chakra. It's like the throat and the root chakra are very open, but it's trying to help pull out of this energy where the heart chakra is a little blocked off, because it's almost like feeling like you need to give up a piece of yourself, and you can't really let everything out for fear of what'll happen, or you just feel like you're giving up pieces of yourself in order for certain things to work out. Like this direct is trying to make that go away. They're trying to, your guides are trying to come in and help with the healing. And then immediately seeing this one, since this energy is so grounded with roots coming out, I really feel like this is you releasing trauma that came from, not for. Dropping stuff. So this is really giving this release here because of all the hard work and really trying to get into your intuition. It's almost like this brand new start almost of releasing things that were passed down and like different traumas that were given to you, and being able to realize that even though you sacrificed some of your heart when having to deal with these issues, that you can start over. Like, you can use that pain and transform, and like they want you to bring whatever this is, like this sacrifice, this pain, this buried feeling that you've kept, and all this new transformation, and use your voice to put this out here, because it's almost like they don't want you to stay stuck in the mental state where you're beating yourself up anymore. And they don't want you to stay stuck like you need to hold on to things, because things that happened in the past are the past, and you're just holding yourself hostage. And you don't need to do that anymore. So let's see. What affirmations come out for the Garden Quartz pile for Saturn Direct? Wow, okay, so transformation. With the help of my dreams, I am ready to make changes towards a new life. Awaken, okay. I wake feeling energized and begin my day with gratitude. So this is a message of staying grateful for everything. And then our last affirmation is surrender. I surrender the old limiting beliefs. I awaken and I am reborn into limitless possibilities. So it's like really bringing this push to put your healing out there right now and help others with theirs. So let's read what the Garden Quartz properties are. So it stimulates the creative mind, it sharpens your awareness of your destiny and life path, and encourages your inner dreamer. It's the stone of fairy tale dreams, and it often inspires you to pursue your heart's desires and find greater happiness in life. It's a powerful grounding stone that's used extensively in healing and meditation work. It's one of the fundamental grounding stones. It's able to establish a clear path to removing negativity by bypassing blocks to help it dissipate naturally. So stone of journeying, and it allows you to heal and release the old. So that is my little Garden Quartz babies pile. I mean, that's really healing, especially if you guys have been going through a whole lot and really working really hard, even though it's kind of scary to put your business on Front Street for people to see. Sometimes we have to not care what other people think so we can reach our happiness instead of sacrificing our happiness to fit other people's visions they have for us. So my last little pile, my moss agate pile. Let's go ahead and get where this is going to be affecting you guys the most when Saturn goes direct. Oh, you guys are already feeling that shadow period with Mercury. Ooh. Okay. Might be bringing some wishes to this pile. Okay, there's a whole lot of Gemini energy in this pile with Mercury and Gemini here. There's actually a lot of air energy, period, because 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. So, possibly Gemini or heavy air in your chart if you pick this pile. But this Saturn going direct is really bringing a lot of communication and possibly some traveling, some humor. It's really gonna be a very stimulating move forward. It's almost like this repressive thing that's probably been affecting your way you've been talking and expressing yourself is going to lift, and it's going to be like a chatterbox comes out, if you're not already one. And it's also going to be bringing in a lot of things you've been really wanting and working for, so it might seem like a wish to you, but really you've been putting in the work for it. And it's also going to bring in really good friends as well, because you've probably been working on pushing out the surface level and trying to bring in the deeper connections. And also it's going to be really great for being creative. So people that are starting to be more creative, maybe they're doing art and writing and different things where you use your hands, because Gemini also rules the hands, is going to be heightened as well. So if like you're trying to maybe start a business with that, it might actually start taking off when Saturn goes direct. And let's see what Saturn direct is bringing my moss agates. Well, it's bringing you a whole lot of protection, that's for sure. Like a lot of nurturing and a lot of healing. And a lot of deep connection. Almost like instinctual connection. Being able to see the beauty in yourself. A new sense of integrity that really comes from being in touch with who you are instead of letting people tell you who you are, which is really beautiful. You guys are also going to be getting dreams, so some heightened communication as well. Oh, where are you guys going? Let's see. And reflections. Being able to manifest what you're thinking about. So there's a lot of new things being brought to this pile that they probably haven't experienced before, because this is more like a dream coming true kind of thing. So it might seem very far-fetched when this stuff starts coming in. It's going to be a little difficult to understand it, because it's going to be like this new thing, but you're going to kind of go with the flow a little bit. It's going to come kind of easy once you realize what's happening. And you're very protective while you're going through this as well. So let's see some blessings and challenges. Oh, no, come back. Those fell, because I wasn't looking. That was not a drop. Okay, that one wants to come out. So this group is being brought the sun as a blessing. And you have the star popping out on the top again. Like, this group, whatever you worked on during the retrograde is really trying to come through in a whole lot of wish fulfillment. But you're going to have a tower moment. So it's not going to be, this is going to be a quick one though. Holy crap. This tower moment's going to strike and move. It's not going to be one that hangs around very long. Whew! And you got some love coming in here, some choices. And we got the Five of Cups. So this energy here, some blessings and challenges. For one, we have this very fast-moving energy of happiness with this. It's like making a choice. Very, like, especially if you guys are opening up your intuition, like, this is very spiritual energy. But whatever this tower moment is, whatever's going to fall away to make room for this wish coming true, it's going to happen like a split second kind of thing. And it's going to leave you in this energy for a little bit, especially with Mars retrograde. It's going to feel like, what the hell? Because it's like, you're not looking at the new things coming in that are shining back here. It's more you're like, all my freaking crap is broken. But it's trying to bring in this energy, because the overall thing that is trying to bring you is this sun energy, like this whole freaking universe that is trying to bring you, and it's trying to really tell you, don't focus on what's being taken away right now. It's being taken away for a reason, and you need to trust that it's for the better, because it is for the better. There's a lot, I mean, this could be a choice in anything really that you really feel a deep connection of love with, whether it's bringing in like your soul family, or like your dream job, or just anything really that's been something you've been really wanting and working on. It's like they want to hand it to you on a platter right now, but you're going to have to go through this very quick, massive cleanup. It's just going to like come swinging in and take over. So try your best, because emotionally it is going to affect you, to stay in the energy of being grateful for knowing that this is bringing in something way better than you could have imagined for yourself. And more than likely you're going to see this start to really bring in the wish fulfillment by the latest early November. So it's going to be very quick. This, whatever this is being pulled out, needs to be pulled out, and it's happening during the Mars retrograde, because we have Mars reverse over here. It's getting pulled out during this time, and it's going to need to be finished and cleaned up before we move into Mars being direct. Give yourself time to process the emotions, but don't let it keep you in a place where you can't function and see what's trying to come in. So let's see what karma you guys are going to be reaping from the work you did while Saturn was in retrograde. Once Saturn goes direct on the 29th. Owning your shit. That's also the second house of material gain, self-worth, things like that. So you could be seeing an influx of money as well. And then benefits, there we go. Like I was saying, you could be seeing an influx. And Jupiter is also expansion, so it could really be this luck that you're bringing in. These benefits are on a bigger scale than you're realizing. It's bringing in a lot of change, which we see with this Tower card over here. So there's going to be change in how you view yourself, what your situation is, monetary wise, assets. It's also going to change a lot of spiritual foundations that you have as well. And it's going to help you rebuild those based on this new influx of understanding about yourself. Yeah, 8th house coming out as the this is a pile that did a lot of work during the retrograde. So that's why all this is coming out. Because having the 8th house come out, it's just like the Tower card. There's going to be endings, so there's beginnings. And it's going to bring a lot of creative energy, and your intuition's really going to be coming out during this. There's going to be so much self-reflection, but it's going to bring so much freedom, because being in this energy up here where you're having to learn to let go, even though it was very emotionally taxing, you are going to be able to transform this energy and keep moving forward and keep growing, which is why they're going to keep bringing in the blessings at the same time. It's like you got to keep working with it. Like, you don't want to trip yourself up and stop everything because you get stuck in the attitude of no gratitude. But let's see what your affirmations are for the moss agate pile. And if anyone ever wants their own, not just a thing on here, but your own personal, whether it's astrology reading, birth charts or transits, or your own tarot or anything like that, I got all that stuff on my Facebook that's linked down there. Because that can help you see where all this is coming through too for each of these piles. And what areas it's really hitting you in, because yeah, it's saying that you're going through gaining benefits, but it's going to tell you exactly where you get those benefits from if you know what your stuff's in. So the first one that just popped out is acceptance. I overcome my biggest challenges by accepting what is, which is literally what this card is saying. Is your biggest challenge is just accepting what is happening and letting it happen and moving forward. Joy. I follow my bliss and accept limitless joy. Well, here's another accept. There's a bunch of acceptance happening here with owning. They really just want you to accept what is and just live in the moment, because stuff is going to start working out a lot better, especially if you leave your mind open instead of thinking about what didn't work out. It happens a lot faster. As I'm talking about that, let go. I am kind to myself and share my beauty with those around me. I let go of self-criticism. And beauty was up here in this card as well. So this moss agate pile, you guys have worked. Literally, there's another let go. On the bottom, I release the old and embrace the new. I grow into my very best self. They're just really wanting you to this is going to be abrupt, and it's going to seem like a punishment, but it's not. They're trying to help you move it out so that way you can move all of this stuff in. It's almost like you have to move and clear out all the old boxes and dusty stuff you're not using anymore so you can make room for all the beautiful new things that are waiting to come in. But let's see what our moss agate stone is good for, or what its stuff is. It's a stone of new beginnings. Refreshes the soul and enables you to see the beauty in all you see. Reduces sensitivity to weather and environmental pollutants. Attracts abundance and wealth and improves self-esteem. It has a balanced, enduring energy and grounding ability that embodies sound properties that are known to aid abundance and prosperity and stimulate creativity. The vibration of the stone brings you strength and courage and will help you to lessen fear and stress and may aid you to attract nature spirits. Now that's interesting. And those nature spirits are usually like along the lines of fae. So if you like the fae, that's kind of what they're talking about there. And it's associated with the heart chakra, and that will really help with aiding in the healing and being able to release anything you guys need to let go of that's emotionally going to maybe hold you back. But that is all of my piles for this Saturn going direct, and my random thing getting stuck up there. But this moss agate pile, just don't get hung up on what's being pulled out of your life, because you are definitely getting a lot better being brought in. So just whether it's relationships, whether it's a new job or a new living situation, whatever it is that is getting pulled away from you, it's for the good. Like, for all this to come in, it needs to be pulled away, and this mentality of like, look at everything I lost needs to be traded in for I'm about to be gaining a whole lot of shit, and I'm grateful to be given the opportunity for that. It's like you gotta switch around the thinking, because all this new cannot come in with this old block in it, because this is a lot of new coming in. But those are the pick a cards for our direct. Now, if anyone would like their own kind of personal reading after seeing those, I can do that for you, like maybe to kind of hone in maybe on what it was. If you picked something and you kind of weren't sure where it was going for you, we can try and do a little personal one that way, unless you have questions that you know where stuff is in your chart. And someone is making food that smells good right now. I don't know who's making food. It could be the neighbors. The window's open. But well, let's see. Maybe we can pull a couple, since you didn't see your carnelian. We'll put it back up here. with a little bit of reassurance. Maybe we can pull a couple and see specifically where it was talking about, where it pertains to you in that reading. I think this card actually came out in the Carnelian reading, if I'm remembering right. So, keep this in mind when you watch it, that what they're really wanting you to focus on is, for you personally with this going direct, they're really trying to help you understand how to connect to your spiritual self and realize how to love yourself unconditionally and forgive yourself for things that have happened. If things get really confusing with what's going on, you need to learn to keep faith in yourself, because they know right now things are not as strong as they need to be, so it's almost like that's where this direct is focusing on for you. And I want to pull one of these and see what area was bringing something in. Okay, it's bringing freedom, so it's bringing you independence and more determination. It's almost like it's going to bring you that boost of energy back that you might have lost to actually work on these things, because with Saturn lifting, you probably will be releasing some restriction on some part where you've been feeling really bogged down. And let's see your specific obstacles or blessings that are coming through for the Saturn direct. So it seems like with this energy here, it's almost like trying to, the obstacles here are kind of like relationships that probably hurt and put you in this standoffish place and feeling like things fell apart, and they want you to learn to move into the energy where you can trust and celebrate the moment again, as opposed to constantly being stuck in the emotion of things that have already been done. It's like this direct is trying to give you the freedom to release this that's actually keeping you very stifled. So instead of you allowing these emotions to have reign over what's happening to you, they want you to learn to celebrate and love everything about yourself. So let's see, because this is what you were doing during the Saturn retrograde and what that's going to bring you. At the direct. Yeah, it's like bringing that belief back in yourself. Yeah, it's like this big change of learning to believe in yourself again and releasing yourself from knowing that whatever this wasn't tied directly to you and your fault. It's like helping you realize that you can move forward and build a new foundation in who you are now. And through doing the inner work, you're going to be able to move out of this energy of not being so stuck on being secure with what is happening externally, because you have the internal belief in yourself. So I'll pull you two little affirmations for Saturn direct. So we got higher self. I am ready to communicate with my higher self in my dreams and to become enlightened. So this is bringing a lot of growth for you, a lot of freedom and growth. And transition. While I sleep, I move from the old to the new with great ease. So yeah, this is, so when you watch carnelian, because I know I brought up the tower, that's pretty much what I can remember from that reading for some reason. But what you're going to be going through to get to this state might be hard, but they're trying to let you know that it's moving you to a better place and the change is for your best good. And it might be a pretty emotional roller coaster for you and make you feel really unstable. But if you can stay focused on being in the moment and celebrating each moment, it'll help you get through it a lot easier and help you release a lot faster. So that is where it's mainly coming through for you. It's just really focusing on giving yourself the love that you need and being kinder to yourself going through the process and knowing that you're growing at your own pace, even if it takes a little bit. It's like, you know, everything's with you for it to work out. It's just kind of going through the muck to get there. But yeah, I'd say watch Carnelian back because there might be some extra info in there that actually can help a little more with that. Right, can you sit in there correctly? There we go. But that's definitely true, Jen. I'm not looking forward to my muck either, but hey, once you get through it, it's over with and you're on the other side, so that's what I'm telling myself anyways. But yeah, unless anyone else wants a personal one to kind of see where their thing's gearing towards, I'm going to go ahead and, or if anyone has any astrology questions before I get off, then I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here and get to tidying up some things that need some tidying up on my end. I know I got called out today. Let's see where your specific area is, Ruby. Oh. So let's see what specific area Ruby got. Oh, you're gonna be doing a lot of I just think you got kind of called out there, hun. So it's like Yeah, you've been doing good looking at yourself here. What the heck? Thing, go away. But, you've been doing good looking at yourself here, but it's a little bit more on the what other people are seeing as opposed to focusing on your health on the inside and doing things routinely that are beneficial to you. So it's almost like your Saturn's going to be more focused on, wait, didn't Virgo come out with the amethyst? I think I'm remembering that right, that Virgo came out with the amethyst. Because that's literally the 6th house. And like letting go of the habits that aren't like helping you anymore, almost getting pushed into that by this direct. And more into things that are actually healthy for you. Mind, body, soul, spirit, emotion, anything. It's just creating new routines that are good for you. Let's see what this direct is bringing you though. It's bringing you sanctuary, privacy, personal space, respected boundaries. Look at you, you're like, get up out of here. This is my space, this is my time. Yeah, so if you work on creating these routines, it's like you're creating your boundaries. That's what this is trying to teach you. It's trying to bring you this thing of making people respect your energy and you also respecting your energy and knowing that it's important. So let's see any obstacles or blessings, challenges, things of that nature for Ruby. And Saturn goes direct. Whew. You needing to drop some harsh, rude people that are deceitful on top of that. Getting your strength back in a bunch of senses, I feel. It's really trying to push you into, with this new thing, it's probably gaining more than just fortitude spiritually and mentally. It's like, I feel like it's trying to kick you into shame. You can't escape it. Yeah, it's like making you push past not being able to believe in yourself anymore and really making you like open your eyes to things that you were either putting on the back burner or you weren't seeing as being important or you didn't even feel that you could accomplish. So it's really trying to push you out of that comfort zone and make you actually step forward and know by dropping these lies, you could possibly be telling yourself lies, that you're going to be able to step into this and also bring that belief back to yourself. So let's see your karma, Ruby. What were you doing all retrograde that is going to shoot out once it goes direct? Well, you've been working hard on your throat chakra blockages from what I'm seeing here, and also communicating more of what you feel instead of keeping it bottled, which is really good. Even though you've been fighting some transformations, Pluto is going to help you with that on Sunday. Not this Sunday, next Sunday, because it's showing up here. It's like, yeah, Saturn didn't do the whole job. So Pluto's going to bring up the... Okay, this one is like poking the crap out of me. It's going to make you get out of your mind and into your heart. That thing was poking me too, man. It wouldn't go anywhere. But, yeah, this energy right here, it's really going to try to push you into being more on the intuition side of yourself and letting your creativity out to help heal other people, as opposed to keeping it inside. And it's really wanting you to keep working. It's probably going to put you in positions where you have to keep working on your throat chakra and communicating to people, as well as really branching out and allowing yourself to do these things. And it's going to be a really creative thing. It's like it's really pushing you to be creative. So let's see some affirmations for Ruby. It's too many. Go back. Trying to fly out. Oh, look at that! Attraction. I attract a loving, happy, fulfilling relationship into my life by dropping shit. So you think less with your mind and more with your heart. And you got growth. I challenge myself to step outside of my comfort zone as I travel on the road to growth and illumination. Okay, maybe you should just write this down. It's like literally stepping outside and doing it. That's literally what happened. That's what's happening when this goes direct. It's going to be pushing you completely. Yeah, no mush at all. You're just pulling this in for yourself. But seriously, you're doing a lot of growing right now, and that's good. And it's just going to keep pushing that for you, like keep pushing you out of your comfort zone a little more and a little more until you can like really fully be out there. And it's going to really show to people like upon first meeting you now, as opposed to it being like this little thing that kind of comes out over time. It's going to be really well seen once you're able to work your routine. And some of that routine needs to be you telling yourself how much you love yourself. So definitely incorporate gratitude and self-love into your daily routine. If you start with anything, start with that, because there's a lot of yellow here with the solar plexus, and you needing to build your confidence, and a way to do that is through the gratitude and the self-love, because it's like it helps you realize what you have as being enough and you being enough, and that boosts your confidence, as well as bringing in the self-love and opening up this heart chakra. But that's where it's specifically trying to come in for you, and you might be getting a relationship out of nowhere. Something. I mean, it could be, a friend relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be this random romantic one, but if you want a random romantic one, why not? But I feel like it won't be romantic since you're wanting personal space. Maybe you'll be okay with it if they respect your boundaries, let you do what you want. But yeah, yours is really cute. You're welcome, Ruby. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here and charge in all my things. I cannot talk at all. I'm gonna plug in all my stuff to charge and clean up and get other things cleaned up in my life. At least before Saturn goes direct. Let it be nice to me. But I will see you guys on Sunday for the energy advice weekly pick a card, so we can kind of get an overall energy for next week. And I can do some weekly personal readings for you guys too, unless you just can't wait and you want to schedule one with me before. But yeah, bye, Ruby, and have a good one. I might talk in the group later if I'm not sleeping myself because I've been so tired. But you guys have a good one, and I'll see you Sunday.